Shymane Robinson. I'm from the west side of Chicago. I'm right off of Sacramento and Wilcox. High school, I went to Gwendolyn Brooks my first 2 years of high school. For my junior year, I transferred to the Bride Advantage Academy, which allowed me to graduate from college at the age of 19. So my last 2 years of high school, I spent there for my college experience. My undergraduate came from DeVry University as well, and then my legal degree came from John Marshall Law School here in Chicago.
Good morning, my name is Lakeisha Andrews. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I grew up in the Roseland neighborhood. I also went to Gwendolyn Brooks College Prep, so we were there during those 2 years that she was there at the same time. What else? I went to the University of Missouri for undergrad, and I went to Harvard for law school.
Good morning, my name is Camille Lindsay Covey. I grew up on the south side. I actually went to Hyde Park High School for 3 years, and then my parents made me transfer my senior year to Thornwood in South Holland. So bad here. Anyway, but I currently live in Oak Park. I went to the University of Illinois at Chicago for undergrad and graduate school, and then I went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign for law school.
My journey of getting into law is a little bit different from like the standard person. So I pretty much knew I wanted to be a lawyer since I was like grade school. And the way that I essentially learned about the field of law is one of my cousins. Like I said, I'm from the west side of Chicago. You guys know that one of my cousins, he actually had a criminal case. I sat through his case. I was probably in about 5th grade at that time when I sat through his trial. And I didn't know what a lawyer was or what a judge was. I was just there observing, going to each court hearing, being a supportive family member along with my other family members that was going. However, I asked my mom, I'm like, what is it they're doing? Whatever they do, I want to do. And from about that point, 5th grade, I pretty much kept on the theory of I want to go to law school, I want to go to law school. However, when you're from an urban community and you say, I want to be a lawyer, I want to go to law school, that's just a dream. It's like, oh, okay, you know, that's what you want to do. She may or may not do it. It's something that I just kept being persistent and I followed through with, and that was my journey to law, honestly, going to undergraduate and then law school, and now practicing as a lawyer.
So I guess my story is similar. Growing up in Roseland, I think my parents did a pretty good job of shielding me to everything that was going on in that community, but you can only shield a child to a certain extent in that environment. So I had a sense that there was a lot of gun violence in the community, there was a lot of drug crime, and so I was probably 8 when I decided I wanted to be a lawyer, and I originally wanted to be a prosecutor because I thought that was going to be the best way to affect change in that area. So one of the things that you gain through education is just a greater understanding of the opportunities in a given field. So at that time, my degree in college was just being a lawyer in criminal law, and I thought that's what I wanted to do. And then after spending some time in law school, that kind of evolved. And what I do now is on the corporate side, but that's what originally sparked my interest.
What I would recommend for here, because I'm in court quite a bit, maybe 3 times out of a week, and I'm a newer lawyer as well. Preparation. You're going to be scared. You're going to, I'm brand new, I'm doing this. There have been days that I'll tell you about an experience. I walk into court, I go up to the clerk, I check in, you say, hi, I'm the attorney for the defendant. She looks at me, she's like, you're the attorney for the defendant? I'm like, yes, I am. Right? So that automatically instills this level of fear because she's questioned you about whether you're an attorney, whether that's 1, I'm black, or 2, I look too young. I look a lot younger than I am, but either way, it now puts me kind of, a little bit fearful that now I have to get in front of a judge and present my case after she already was a little snotty about whether I was the attorney to begin with. However, I prepare. I may over-prepare just to make sure when I step up to the bench and this judge asks me questions, 1, my brief that I gave him is going to be amazing, I believe. So I'm hoping that he's read my brief. Sometimes judges read, sometimes they do not, but at least he have a good comprehensive brief that I gave him. But two, I'm prepared to answer any questions that he may have. I even try to think of stuff that my opposing counsel may say, so that way I'm not caught off guard. So that level of fear is sort of minimized. I was scared when I walked in here, but once I started talking, I kind of forget that I was even, scared or fearful, because I over prepared to make sure that I was ready to go. And I may not be white, I'm not, but you're not gonna outwork me. And that's sort of how I deal with any situation that I'm afraid of. I prepare. I make sure that you're not going to outwork me. You may have every other positive going for you, but it will not be you won because you outworked me. My father, like many, I guess, urban families, he moved to Atlanta. He really wasn't present. I always knew he loved me, but if you ask him for money, he don't. So that's my situation with my dad. He loves you, don't ask him for money. My mother, she did graduate high school, college. She has a master's degree. She's actually a social worker, works for DCFS for the last 20 years. But when it came to my education, I don't think she had the foundation. Like she was lucky enough to have a master's degree and be educated, but she didn't have the foundation of someone telling her to do that. So when it came to me, it was really just me on my own. Like, hey mom, by the way, I heard about this program at DeVry. I'm going to the open house. Can you sign the paperwork for me to go? And she's like, oh, cool, sounds like a good program. Go ahead and go. Or when it's time to go to law school, hey mom, by the way, I'm going to law school. Oh, you are? Okay, go. So I didn't really have like anything from her that, sort of steered me one way or the other. I think my mindset was from a very young age, being in an urban community, the people that I particularly was around was broke. And I would see other individuals who was not broke. And I didn't want to be broke. So I needed to figure out why was everyone in my community broke and they was not. So my mindset was, I probably would have taken my mom's advice because she's well off, right? But at that time, I was younger, but I pretty much been this way all my life, was, oh, you guys are broke, so I don't want to do what you're doing, And that was just my mindset. I mean, whatever my community is doing, I'm going to do the opposite. So if you guys went to Marshall, which is a school on the west side, I'm not going to Marshall. I'm going to the school outside, because I'm trying to figure out why is there a distinction between the urban communities being broke and then some of the other people that, children that I would meet, different people that I would meet that was not broke. So I didn't want her advice, I guess I would say, and she just went with the flow of, she trusted me, believed in me. Like saying I was going to DeVry, great, it must be a good program. Oh, you're gonna graduate when you're 19, they say you're gonna make $50,000, $60,000. Baby, I don't think that's true, but go ahead, and do it. And that was my experience from my parents. My undergrad, it was very quickly, right? So I was done with undergrad by 19. At that point, all of my friends were headed off. I believe I was freshman year. So they was headed off their freshman year for college, so I was done. I was kind of free. I was just working at that time. But doing school, it's just a matter of, I plan everything. So you plan out. It's gonna take a lot of time because I was working, I was in school, and I still wanted to hang with my friends. So if I know there's a basketball game from 2 to 4, I'm going to the basketball game because all my friends are gonna be there. But if I have a paper due, that means from 6 to 10, I'm also doing my paper. Or if I have, there's a party going on, I wanna go to the party, great, go. But if you have work at 7 o'clock, you still should be at work at 7 o'clock sharp, right? So it's more of you making sure that you may get less sleep if you want to do both things, but you have to balance and do both and do them well, or you have to lose out on something. And there was many things that I lost out on, or I wasn't able to go to every basketball game, or you're not able to go on all of the fabulous trips. It appears, and I don't know where my friends got the money, but it appears that they was taking a lot of vacations, right? So you cannot do it all. So sometimes you just miss out on those things. You focus right now, you do the most important, the school and the, you know, working or trying to stay focused for your career, and then on the later end, now I can afford trips that they cannot, you know. So it's kind of a balance and shift in scale.
I know that OGs right now we're about to go into our ACT prep time, and something like a goal that I have, I want to score like perfect score. I want to do a 36, but then sometimes it kind of scares. It doesn't scare me, but I don't have, let's say, the support from a lot of people that I would like to have. But when I say I want to do a perfect 36, so it's not just me, like my mom, she believes that I can do it. But like, how do I keep that motivation and drive to strive for that perfect 36 without being distracted and letting other people say things?
I think it helps to surround yourself with other high achieving people, right? So not only your family members who believe you can do it, but also other students that are like-minded. It really helps for you guys to talk to each other and say, girl, you can do it. I know the study class is difficult. And then like what you're doing, talking to people who are doing the work that you think you want to do ultimately can all serve as motivation for you. Just focus on the bigger picture, you know. There'll always be people who will be naysayers, no matter what you want to do in life. You're always going to have that team that's like, you can't do that, you know. But, you know, you have to, at some point, believe that you can, and also surround yourselves with those who are your cheerleaders. Talk to them more so than you do the others.
I agree. I would also say you have to understand what you're trying to do is something that many others have not done. So their level of support for you could not be that they're not proud of you. It's just something they're unfamiliar with. It's something that they have not done, and they don't have a point of reference. So to them, that's something like, that's impossible. But for you, you know that it is possible. So similar to like she said, you do need to surround yourself with other people who also know that it's possible. And then for your family and your friends, you take those 2 months that you're gonna study for your LSAT, not your LSAT, that's for law school, but for your ACT, and you block them out. Those 2 months, you block them out. They love you, you love them, but you're gonna study for these 2 months. You're gonna go intensive. You're gonna get your perfect score that you know is possible. And once you get the perfect score, those naysayers will believe that it's possible because you just showed them. So now one of them may call you and say, hey girl, how do I study to get a perfect score? Because now we know it's possible because we've seen it, you know, from you doing it.
And also the preparation, so set a schedule for yourself. If you need to write that schedule down, I like to write things down. It helps me stay organized and focused and just stick to that. So unfortunately enough, I went into the ACC thinking, I'm an amazing student. I don't need to study for the ACT that much. It's just like taking tests. And that was not the right attitude. But when I studied for the LSAT, I studied very intensely for a 6-week period. And I went online and I researched blogs from people that had taken the LSAT and gotten perfect scores. And maybe I wasn't gonna get a perfect score, but I was gonna follow that study schedule and be as disciplined as they were. So maybe doing some research in terms of folks that have really excelled at the ACT, gotten perfect scores, and what their study routine looked like will also help.
Take this time to explore. This is the time when you explore. You try different things. So if you're trying to become a police officer or a teacher, try both. You know, do a couple years here, do a couple years there. I would say you guys are like juniors and seniors the next 5 years, explore. Because by the time you get, 35, 40, you don't have as much opportunity to explore. You still can, but you start having children, you get married, and you have more responsibilities. So while you don't have a mortgage and children and all of those things, utilize this time to try out as many things as you like. That's what it's for. It may sound like, oh, I'm hopping from this thing to that thing to that thing. That's okay. Figure out what it is you like, and the only way to do that is by exploring and trying them out. Call some teachers, call some police officers, go on career days, ask them to come along, do some mock teaching, I wouldn't say mock police officer, I'm not sure, in Chicago, but try some things out.
Yeah.
Right along.
Do not do mock policing.
I don't know, I wouldn't recommend that, but essentially explore is okay. Like now is, I would say the next, what do you guys say, 5 to 6 years, now is the time to play with things, figure out what you like and what you don't like, and when you don't like it, it's okay, move on to the next thing. I am like a huge believer with social media being so prevalent in our age, our time now. Utilize it. You're on it. We have phones. We're on our phones, right? So you say you're not on social media?
I'm not.
Let me tell you, you're gonna have to get social media, and here's why. Especially within homeschool, there's only so many people you can reach that's in your face everything. Social media allow you to reach any and everyone. So if there's someone in Atlanta that you want to network with or reach, hop in a DM, right? So people are hopping in DMs for negative reasons when they should be hopping in for positive reasons. A lot of business deals happen on social media. I was invited here from social media. I got a tag. Can you speak to it? Yes. Bam. That's how it happened. I'm like, oh great. I haven't heard of the group before, but you guys request me to speak. Awesome. Send me an email. I'll make time. So,
what do you think about LinkedIn now?
I like it. I love organizations that give back to our youth. I love that the fact that, you know, we're able to come in and give you guys words of encouragement and answer your questions, because these are things that I wish we had more of, right? So a lot of myself was plowing through on my own and trying to figure it out, not really knowing. So when you're doing it on your own, you make more mistakes than you would if you're not doing it blind. So I enjoy the group. I think it's a positive program. I'm hoping that more people become aware of it and can utilize the services. So I'm sure that you guys are advocating and bringing more students in and you're saying, hey, this is a really good program. We meet good people. You know, this is a good place to be. I definitely will refer links to other students. I think it's a great program, and I'm glad, you know, to be here with you guys, to be able to become familiar with the program and start building a relationship with the